Michael Reid on LMFM.
The Director General of one of the 6 banned Palestinian civil society organisations, Al-Haq, is in Ireland. Al-Haq was founded in 1979, the first human rights organisation in the Arab world. Shawan Jabirin was Amnesty International's first Palestinian prisoner of conscience and has worked for years promoting human rights. He'll be speaking this evening in Navan at 7 o'clock in SIPTU's Dan Shaw Centre and joins us now. And a very good morning to you, Shawan Jabirin, and thank you indeed for joining us on the programme. It's a pleasure to get the opportunity to talk to you and to welcome you back to Ireland because you have been here before, but it wasn't always possible for you to travel to this country after spending 6 years in an Israeli prison without charge or trial, and indeed after being banned from travel. You weren't able to come here in 2010 to collect an award from the Irish Centre of Human Rights, but you will be speaking in Navan this evening, and I take it you'll be asking people to help protect human rights in Palestine and dismantle Israel's apartheid.
Thank you, Michael. I'm so sorry my voice has not helped me well because it was infected by flu that I got, in my way to here. Anyway.
It's very unfortunate. Will you be able to speak this evening?
I will try to do my best.
Okay.
I will speak my signals, and my heart signals to the people.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes. Tonight I'm going to Navan. This is the first time for me to Navan. Before I used to be in different places, Cork, Galway, Dublin, and other counties. But this is the first time in Navan. I would like to express, our experience in the field of human rights, mainly these days in Palestine, and what it means, Even if the Israelis try to designate us as a terrorist organization, to silence us, to close us, but our mission is to defend people's rights and justice and rule of law. And we will continue in that.
Yeah, you're
they are trying to defend ourselves. No, we will continue defending the people's rights, and we will continue defending, the victims' rights and holding the criminals accountable. This is the main thing that we established for. That it's not to sit, just to defend ourselves, to say, hey guys, we are here, we are not here, there. No. This is our mission, that there are criminals there, they are committing their war crimes against humanity, and no one holding them accountable. Because of that, they continue on that. What we are living there, it's an apartheid regime, it's a colonialism also. It's completely different from an ordinary occupation that recognized in international humanitarian law or a human rights law. That's what we are living in. It's beyond an ordinary occupation. That's the issue I would like to share with the people, to discuss it with them, to hear. I'm sure that I'm a friend, let me say, society, public, people, but it's good, to share with them what's going on there.
How do you feel about being described or called a terrorist? I think the Israeli Supreme Court described you as a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, a human rights campaigner by day and a terrorist by night.
I look at it as a recognition, to be honest with you. And when things come from the criminals, this is also an indicator that you are in the right track. This is how I deal with things like that. It comes from the criminals and not from, those they do believe about justice and the human rights and rule of law. No, it's coming by those they are committing crimes. They are the killers of the children. That's the case. This is a reality. I'm not exaggerating when I say that they are killing children. This is a reality. This is a daily practice in Palestine. That's when they discriminate against Palestinians, when they don't let Palestinians to unite, to be united, the families, to be united, and they separate between the mom and her child, the one who is 1 year old in Gaza and the mom, she is in Ramallah, and they don't want them to be united. And this case, it's not a humanitarian case under their definition. This is an issue. The people, they have to know this. The criminals, the terrorists, those, they kill civilians on a daily basis. Those, they terrorized civilians. They are the terrorists. That's the case.
What do you think of countries like America that show and give such great support to Israel?
I think the Americans, they have double standards when it comes to the rule of law, when it comes to international law. We see what's going on now in Ukraine and their reaction. I can't here compare victims with victims, but I'm speaking about the reactions of state, like the United States. I can't say that what they are doing now there it's bad or good, but the question is why they are selective when it comes, for instance, to react against atrocities or illegal practices or crimes. Why they are selective? Why they, dealing and treating Palestinians in a different way? This is the issue. Another thing is they are supporting Israel unconditionally and blindly, to be honest with you. That's the issue. Without support by the U.S. and other countries, Israel will not continue its atrocities and the ignorance of the Palestinians' rights. By support of the Americans, the Israelis, they look at it as an encouragement. It's encouraging Israel to continue their crimes. This is how I look at it. But in the same time, we see that at the public level, things are changing and changing dramatically, to be honest with you. It's a matter of time that things will change also in the U.S.
How much time? I think there's been this conflict for as long as I can remember, and there's been so many efforts and attempts to bring about a solution. Does that lie in a two-state solution?
Look, we are speaking about rights and fundamental rights. One of that, self-determination, right of return to the refugees, to their homes, to their lands, to their property. It's simple, it's ABC, as a right and the fundamental right. We are speaking about sovereignty over, land, natural resources, borders, yourself. This is what we call. Now, if it's one state solution, one democratic state solution, two state solutions, it's not that big matter. The question is the rights. That the Israelis, they are not dealing with the Palestinians as a people, to be honest with you. They are not seeing Palestinians, even when they're planning. They are doing their planning or something like that. They do that on white sheet, as if they don't see Palestinians, they are exist. That's the case. And when they see some problems here, there is a Palestinian community, there is a Palestinian, village, there is a Palestinian city here or there, they put like a circle around that place, not to expand here, and how to avoid going here and there. This is the case. This is how the Israelis dealing and treating and, acting against Palestinians.
Okay.
This thing will not continue forever. This issue will not continue. You can't continue as an oppressive regime forever. It's a matter of time. When I say matter of time, I mean it. Maybe it's not months, maybe it's not a few years, but I think there is no future for injustice and oppressive regime. This is what we learned. You as an Irish, you were under colonial regime for 800 years. We will not stay as you 800 years, for sure. It will be just years, 1 decade, 2 decades, that. And if there is one has to concern from the future, not the Palestinians.
Okay, well, I don't think a little dose of the flu is going to impact on your ability to make your case. I think people can expect a very interesting evening when they hear you speak this evening in Navan. A pleasure to speak to you, and thank you indeed for joining us on the programme this morning. This event takes place in SIP2's Dan Shaw Centre at 7 o'clock this evening, and our thanks to Shawan Jabirin, who is the General Director of Al-Haq, for joining us on the programme today.
Michael Reid on LMFM.